let's begin our discussion with this concept of manipulators for today. So manipulators to format the input-output operations. Now, what will be achieved by using formatting flags, exactly the same thing we are going to achieve by using these manipulators as well. So output is not going to be any different than what we had last time. It will be exactly the same. What we are going to talk about is how we can format it using a new style. And this was not supported earlier for us. Now we do have a support for this concept of manipulator in C++. So let's understand what these manipulators are. So we said this is the second way to alter the format parameters of a string. That means here the formatting parameters, that means these formatting flags, can actually be manipulated by inserting those manipulators into the input output stream itself. Right now, suppose if I was saying C in, C out, I was extracting some data from input stream, I was inserting some data into the output stream. Now here we are going to insert that manipulator itself into the output stream so that the subsequent result can be formatted the way we would like to format it. They are parallel member functions of iOS class. So many of manipulator parallel member functions of iOS class. Remember we had talked about precision, we talked about width, we talked about fill. So we set setf, unsetf. So you'll find similar kind of operations being done by these manipulator functions as well. So it will not be very different. They will be like what we achieved by using formatting flags. We are going to achieve the similar kind of thing by using these manipulator functions and manipulators as well. They were not there earlier, so older compilers, you will not be in a position to use this concept of manipulators. Newer compilers, you will definitely have a support for these manipulators as well. So last time we had seen a method called as setf. Setf was a method that was used to set a particular flag on. But today, instead of setf, we are going to use set iOS flag. It's a manipulator function. This is to be directly inserted into the stream. You may be wondering, how do we insert into a manipulator into a stream? Don't worry, you'll understand as I go ahead with the demonstration. Then we had another function called as unsetf. Unsetf was used to set a flag off. Now, whenever we had to set a flag off, instead of unsetf, we'll now go ahead with reset iOS flags. So similar functions, setf, unsetf. Instead of that, we now have set iOS flags and reset iOS flags. Similar. There are some manipulators functions with parameters, and there are one without parameters. So we have two different kind of manipulators. Many manipulators are parameterless and are available once the stream header file iOS stream is being included. So we will be looking at two of them. And some manipulators require argument. That means there will be some manipulators to which we will pass an argument. Some manipulators will not pass argument. Now, especially if you're going to use those manipulators which require argument, in that case, we'll have to include the header file called as iomanip. Unless we do not include header file iomanip, we'll not have an opportunity to see those manipulators with parameters. So let's take an example to understand how these manipulators can be used. So I'll directly jump start with an example, Eclipse now. Now I have look at the header file. At the top, I have included a header file called as iomanip. We are going to achieve the same thing what we had done last time, but now what I have is a header file called as iomanip. And like always, I have included a header file called as iostream. And then I have some integer variable I whose value is 15. I have a character array in which I have stored Naina. I have a floating point variable which is a large number, 340 lakhs kind of thing. And I would like to start with the demonstration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start demonstration over here. I have inserted a breakpoint over here. So just focus on two aspects. One thing that you will be looking at is the output which is going to be shown at the bottom. And second, that the program that I'm going to run. So these are two things that you're going to have a look at. So just have focus on these two screens. The top one where the code is there and the bottom where I'm going to show you the output of that particular program. So I say I'm going to run this particular project. I say run debug as local C++ application. Okay, it's good that we, for some reason, we are now forced to switch over to other ID. Every day we have been working with only one ID, and that has always been our NetBeans. So today, unfortunately, I have been forced to, fortunately for you, so you will also have a look at as to how debugging is done over here. So we start with an application. We are on first line, int I is equal to 15. So I now step over, okay, step over, I go to the next line, and so we say manipulate. So output has been displayed on the bottom. Now I'm saying value of I is equal to decimal, note DEC. Now that's a manipulator which has been directly inserted into the stream. Now when I insert this manipulator into the stream, output stream obviously, this is the first data that has gone into the output stream. There is another manipulator that I'm inserting, DEC. So whatever follows after this manipulator DEC will have impact. That means it has now been formatted as per the decimal format. So last time, if you remember, we had iOS DEC was a flag that we were setting. Now instead we have this manipulator. So very easy for us to use it. This is a predefined manipulator called as DEC, which we can insert directly into the input stream. Now I'm going to output stream I'm inserting, and whatever follows value of I, that will get displayed in decimal format. Let's check, does it really get displayed in decimal format? Can you see at the bottom, value of I is 15 has been displayed in the bottom. Then I say value of I is hex. So I'm inserting a manipulator called as hex into the output stream. And then whatever follows after that will come in hex. Let's check it out. So look at that 15 ka hexadecimal representation is F, and so that has been displayed. So I would like to have octal representation. So I have taken third manipulator called as OCT. But then when I use this, remember again the same old story. Whenever you use manipulators and when we manipulate the, when you do formatting, if you're going to change the numbering system, was it not our duty to make sure that the base is also displayed? So here base has not been displayed. Somebody may feel first time you displayed integer 15, next time you displayed a character F, and next time you have displayed integer 17. How does one get to know that the same number was displayed in 3 different numbering system? How does one get to know? So it was our duty to make sure base is being displayed. So we are now going to set a flag. Which one? iOS show base. But instead of setf function, what we had used last time, which we had said cout.setf. Now instead of saying cout.setf, what am I doing now? I'm saying set iOS flag, iOS show base. So this particular manipulator function, now this is a manipulator function with a parameter. Manipulator function with a parameter. So I'm calling this particular manipulator function, I'm passing the flag to it, whichever flag I would like to turn on. And that has been inserted into the output stream. And then whatever data that is going to come, and then I'm going to insert after that. So I have turn on the show base flag on first, and then I'm inserting hex into it. So base has been now inserted. That's a manipulator function which will now turn on the show base flag, and then I'm inserting hex. So whatever value that follows after that will get displayed in hexadecimal. Let's check it out. Does it really happen? Look at that. This is the right way to display OXF instead of just saying F. Likewise, I again insert show base, but this time I insert another manipulator. This is manipulator function with parameter. This is manipulator without parameter. And now I am saying OCT. So when I say OCT, that means octal. Look at that, 017. So never ever you should display output in this fashion. अगर आपको hex में चाहिए, it should be with the base. Octal में चाहिए, तो it should be with the base. And that we have achieved by using this show base. But note कीजिएगा, in this show base, F was small, X was also small. So what am I going to do? I'm saying set iOS flag, iOS show base, pipe, iOS upper. That means I'm turning on both the flags, base as well as upper. Both the flags have now been turned on. So replace a certain lowercase with uppercase equivalent in the generated output. Whereas show base, make sure the base is displayed. Can you see that? Generates prefix including numeric base if integer output and so on. So both the things I'm inserting first. So I would like to display the base, and also all the alphabets in the hexadecimal value should also get displayed in uppercase. So I have this hex so that I get the data in hexadecimal. And let's continue with the program and let's see how does it actually work. We'll jump to this particular line. We had discussed till here. So let's jump to this line. I add a breakpoint over here. Line number 28, I add a breakpoint. I had already added a breakpoint over here. Toggle this breakpoint. Line number 28, I have a breakpoint. And we are on line number 28. We are on this particular line. Here we go. So what we have done is now we are displaying both. We are saying iOS show base and iOS uppercase. And then I'm inserting the data in hexadecimal format. And when I'm doing so, watch what is going to happen now. So here F has also got displayed in uppercase and X has also got displayed in uppercase. And why did that happen? That happened because we have used both iOS upper and iOS show base. But while you are displaying octal value, that will not come into action because in octal we are not having any alphabets. So when I'm displaying octal value, your octal value will get displayed as it was displayed earlier, 017, and here it says 017. So there was not much of a change. So if I have to change the base, we had 3 different manipulators: hex, decimal, and octal. We want to change the base and also make sure you want to change the numbering system and also the base to be displayed. We had a show base. We had to display the base in upper characters. We had this iOS uppercase. So these are things that we are seeing. But the story doesn't stop over here when it comes to manipulators when it's in C++. We have alternative functions which are available to carry out similar kind of operations. Now, what are those alternative functions which are available for us to carry out similar kind of operations? We have alternative functions which is set base. So I can call this function set base and I can specify what is the base. If I can say set base 8, I can say set base 10, 8 for octal, 10 for decimal, 16 for hexadecimal. So I could also call, instead of using this OCT hexadecimal, that was far more easy. But I could also go ahead with using these kind of characters, these kind of manipulator functions. That's also something which is allowed. Run debug as local C++ application, and let's debug the code. Here we go. We were at line number 28 somewhere. Here. We had done this, and now I'm saying set base 8. Note, I have set set base 8, and then I'm saying value of I is equal to I. Now I'm not using OCT. I'm directly set base 8. Now since I have set base 8, it will display the value in octal. Watch it, 017. Okay, and how about that 0? How is that 0 being displayed? That's because this flag is already on. We have not yet turned this particular flag off. Show base flag हमने अभी तक off नहीं किया हुआ है. Then I say decimal, and when it comes to decimal, there are no flags that are being displayed. So decimal, the value 15 has been displayed as it is. And then we now take set base 16. Watch this. We have taken set base 16, and then I say value of I is equal to hex. So when I go on to display that particular value, OXF, till now that flag is still on. Which flags are on? Base is also on, and upper is also on. Now, next time I'm saying show pause. Show pause means positive sign. Your number 15 was displayed only as 15, and we do not want number 15 to be displayed as only as 15. We want number 15 to be displayed along with the, we want number 15 to be displayed, just a minute, along with the sign. It should not happen that signs are not displayed. So that is a requirement that we have right now. So how do I do that? Now for that we have another manipulator which is available. So we will check that particular manipulator as well. So we have manipulator over here, that is show pause. So I'm going to say set iOS flags, iOS show pause. The moment I say show pause, that particular manipulator will now be turned on. So when I'm displaying a sign, the positive sign will also get displayed. I'm going to say iOS show pause. I have turned it off by on by passing it to set iOS flag. I'm using manipulator as decimal. That means value of I has to be displayed as decimal. Here also I had displayed value of I in decimal. Here also I had displayed value of I in decimal. But in all these cases, note here 15 was displayed. Here also 15 was displayed. Although the number was positive, plus 15 never got displayed. And I precisely want to display it as plus 15. And now that can be done by using these manipulators. Which manipulator are we now talking about? We are talking about a manipulator. Let me get rid of this flag. Disable breakpoint. Okay, or remove breakpoint. I'll set toggle breakpoint, and I'll set a breakpoint over here now. I'll set a breakpoint over here. Show pause. At this particular line, I'll add a breakpoint. Line number 45, I'll add a breakpoint. Let's debug the project once again. So we start tracing this particular code. We come over here, and what are we doing now? We said show pause. Note, since I had said show pause, value has got displayed as plus 15. Earlier it was displaying only as 15, but because of this show pause, value has now got displayed as plus 15. Now this pause I would like to remove. Now to set it on, we have to say set iOS flag, and to turn it off, we have to call as reset iOS flag. So if I say reset iOS flags, iOS show pause, that particular flag will be turned off. Now it has been turned off. And again I display value of I. Note, value of I has got displayed as 15 without any sign. So we can turn on a flag by using set iOS flag, and we can turn off the same flag by calling reset iOS flag. So set iOS flag turns on, reset iOS flag turns that particular flag off. Now, proceeding further, I would like to set the width. Last time we had set cout.width, if you remember, is what we were saying in a manipulator function. Now here, instead of saying cout.width, we have another method which is available called as setW. Now with this setW, we can actually specify the width of the subsequent output. So subsequent is the variable I whose value is to be displayed in decimal format, but width that we are supposed to allocate is 10. Here width is allocated how much? How much is the width that is required? Only that much width has now been allocated. But I would like to allocate more width. I would like to allocate 10 columns, and inside these 10 columns, this value of I has to be displayed. And remember last time when we had taken a demonstration, when we display an output in a width, output is by default right justified. So I can change the justification as well. There also we had seen the methods to change the justification. Left and right is what we had taken. Today also here we're going to do that, but we are going to use manipulator functions rather than using those flags on our own. So I'm going to set the width as 10. So let's again debug the particular program. Debug as C++ application, and let's start debugging this application all over again. The only change that I have made is now I have said set W10. Now when I'm saying set W10, width I have specified as 10. Note what has happened is now the 15 has got displayed in 10 column width. Can you see that at the bottom? Width is 10, 15 has got displayed in 10 columns. Now there are some number of spaces. How do I know it was really 10? So I would like to pad these blank spaces. Now to pad the blank spaces, we have set fill. So this time around we have set width is 10, and I'm going to say set fill as star. So whatever are the blank spaces, that should be filled with star, and then the value should get displayed is what I want to do. So I'm inserting three different manipulators: set W, manipulator function; set fill, manipulator function; and DC, a manipulator. There are two with parameter, one without parameter. These set W is with parameter, set fill is with parameter, decimal is without parameter. So now we go on to display. Watch it. 15 has got displayed in 10 columns, and there are 8 stars which has not got displayed. Why 8 star? Because what we said over here was set fill. Not necessarily that set fill character always has to be star. You can use any character. So I am now going to say set fill as 0. Width is 10. I'm going to say set iOS flag show pause. That means I also want to see the positive sign. So in that case, I'm going to pad the blank spaces with zeros. I would like to have width as 10. I also want to see the positive sign. So there are a lot of things that we are trying to do. So let's see the result now, what has happened. So now there are 7 zeros and plus 15 is what has got displayed. But then the zeros have been displayed on the left hand side, number is on the right hand side. But if I take internal and I say show pause, so 0 will be now padded between the plus sign and 15. Remember internal, iOS internal, what we had done, same thing over here. There we used to say cout.iOS internal. Here I'm saying set iOS flag, iOS internal, iOS show pause. Have you identified, saw one more thing? When I'm doing this, when I'm saying decimal, I do not really have to worry about hex and octal, what will happen to them. They'll be using base field, adjust field, float field, they were group flag. Masking is what we had done last time. Now here we do not really have to bother about masking. These manipulator functions will take care of it. So here what am I doing? I'm now saying I want width as 10. I want to fill the blank spaces with 0. And I'm going to turn the flags on, which internal and show pause. So when I'm saying internal and show pause, internal means these blank spaces will be left between plus sign and the number. Between the plus sign and number, blank spaces will be left. The blank spaces will be padded with 0 and total width is 10. Let's see, do we get that output? OXF and your OX. Sign and number is over here, and blank spaces I have been padded with dollar this time around. Point is, it has now been displayed in internal. We'll run this code once again. It should have been displayed for the integer in decimal format as well. So there is no reason why it should not get displayed for integer in decimal format. Let's do debug the program once again. There may be some other issue that may have avoided it from displaying. Let's run the code once again. Here we are. Okay, so positive sign was displayed. Blank spaces on the left hand side padded with 0. So let's see what happens now. I'm saying internal, decimal, and I. So when I'm displaying this value, there is something very interesting, weird thing happening. No output being displayed for this particular value. Here there is ENDL by mistake. That was what was creating problem. That means we have inserted ENDL right in the beginning. So when ENDL comes in, that means that output has finished. So uske aage ka output was remaining inside the buffer. So now I just changed the order. ENDL nikal diya wahan se. I hope now it should display. So मैंने कहा IS internal show pause, फिर set W10, fill as blank spaces with zeros, and display the decimal values. Here we go now. We are now displaying. Now it has been displayed, the earlier one. Now when we do that, correct. So that was the mistake. So here plus sign and 15 on either side and blank spaces in between. Okay, so I'm saying set iOS flags internal iOS show pause. Internal means blank spaces in between the sign and the number. Show pause, show plus sign. Width is 10, fill character with 0, decimal format may or integer value I. Now we are going to display hex value. And inside the hex value, I'm saying show base. Now the base on the leftmost side, the value on the rightmost side, and the blank spaces have been padded with whatever character you like to pad. If you wanted to pad them with $, you can pad them with $, whichever character you like to. Now I want to turn them off. Show pause also I like to turn off. Internal also I like to turn off. So if I want to turn off, just say reset iOS flags and insert into the cout. Now I would like to change the justification. Like right now, when we displayed the output was coming on the right hand side. Look at this, output was always coming on the right hand side, and we would like to change this particular behavior. Output need not be always on the right hand side. So in that case, what can we do? We can change the justification to left and right if you want to. So here I'm going to say set W10, set fill dash. I would like to fill the blank spaces with 0 dash. Set iOS flags, I'm saying iOS left. By default, output is on the right hand side. Now I would like to display the output on the left hand side. And then the name was something like Naina or something like that. Naina was the name I would like to display. Let's see how does it get displayed. Naina has come on the left hand side. Strings should always be left justified. Numbers should always be right justified. But note, the blank space on the right have been filled with dash. So what am I doing? Set width as 10. So Naina ke liye actually 5 columns ki zarurat hai. But I am allocating 10 column width. I am filling the characters with minus. I am filling the characters with a dash. Set iOS flags मैंने कहा left, यानी justification left. Note, masking नहीं कर रहे. Last time when we used to use left and right, we also used to say adjust field. Now there is nothing like adjust field masking to be done. We directly pass it into the input stream. Input stream, output stream के अंदर ही directly से insert करना है name. Now by default तो right ही था, ये करने की जरूरत नहीं है. But we could still do that. Set iOS flags, iOS right. Now that we have already turned it to the left, now we turn it to the right. And I say with test 10. Note, for every output we'll have to do it. It will have impact only on that expression, not on the next expression. Fill character hash and Naina. So again, if I display Naina, let's see how Naina has got displayed. Naina has come on the right hand side, and on the left, what Naina was on the left, now Naina is on the right hand side. Here we had a variable f. Value of f was actually 340,000, 340 lakhs was the value. I'm saying iOS fixed is a manipulator that I'm turning it on by using this function, manipulator function, set iOS flag. So in set iOS flags, I passed iOS fixed. The moment I passed iOS fixed, this particular value will get displayed in fixed format. And we had seen yesterday what's the fixed format. So F1 ka value is 345, that has got displayed as it is. This F1 was 345, that has got displayed as it is. Note, although it's a float value, by default 6-digit precision has not been displayed. When I say iOS fixed, let's see what is happening. iOS fixed over here is now displaying the output up to 6-digit precision. But I do not really want it to be 6-digit precision. So I insert set precision 3, set iOS fixed, iOS show point, that means decimal point bhi chahiye, and then I'll display the F ka value. Look at this. When I do that, the value has been displayed with a decimal point and only up to 3-digit precision. I want to remove this show point. I remove the show point. And if I remove show point, I could display the same value in scientific notation as well. So I'm now saying set iOS flag scientific, same value. Scientific means the hexadecimal notation, what we have been looking at, it will be displayed in hexadecimal notation. So look at that, that value has got displayed in hexadecimal notation. Hexadecimal notation, it's not note. Here I'm really saying scientific, it is in hexadecimal. It is not in exponential format. Hexadecimal notation is what I have said. When I'm using the word hexadecimal, OX1 and then P raised to P plus 25. When I'm saying P plus 25, that means 2 to the power of 25. Huh? And if it was E, it was 10 to the power something. Now here it is 2 to the power this thing. So value has got displayed in hexadecimal. I said iOS scientific. Now I say reset iOS flag, fixed bhi nikal diya aur show point bhi nikal diya, reset kar liya. I reset them. I have value as 50.0f and I reset scientific and show point as well. And now I am displaying decimal format. I am inserting decimal format. I am saying set iOS flag fixed, show point, precision 3 and value of f. It is 50.0. It is 50.0 and we are trying to display. Let's see what is happening now. When I'm trying to display, it has been displayed as 50.30. Why 3 zeros? Set precision 3. Why not in scientific? Because we have set fixed. And iOS fixed we have said, we have also said show point. Although if there was no point, still this show point will make sure if it's a floating point value, decimal point will correctly get displayed. And now we have gone ahead displaying that particular value in the right fashion. 50.30 is what we have displayed. So this was a basic small demonstration. I'll take some advanced examples right now. Now let me take another example. Another example is to do something more with this particular flags. To understand something more about these flags, we can reuse some settings. Now just understand the use case of the next example that I'm trying to demonstrate. Now suppose you are formatting some output. Understand the use case. Otherwise you will not understand why should we go ahead with this next topic that I'm trying to demonstrate. Use case is you have done some formatting. And that was very complex formatting that you have done. You have set the iOS flags, fixed किया है, show point किया है, precision set किया है, and so on. And अगले 10 lines पे आपको वही formatting बार-बार करना है. तो अगर आपको वही formatting बार-बार करना है, तो you will get tired because every line you will have to write such kind of statements, and that is too much of a statement to write. Why not copy these settings? That means these settings that we have done for this output stream over here, why not copy and keep? And if I have copied it, I can directly reuse. That is what I want to demonstrate to you in the next example. How we can copy the settings that we have done. Now look at this example now. We have a simple example. Just pay attention. Have a look at this example. I have integer value data. So we have this integer value data, which is value 100. And I'm going to do a lot of settings. कल का manipulator functions use कर रहा हूँ मैं, manipulator flags use कर रहा हूँ, setf use कर रहा हूँ. तो I said cout.setf, मैंने उसे कहा hex चाहिए, base field चाहिए. Remember this? This is yesterday's code. Last time. What we used today was manipulators, and what we are right now having in front of us are formatting flags. So using setf function, I have turned on hex flag, I have turned on base field flag. दो flags हमने turn on किए. Then I also said show base. I have also said width. Now tell me data का value अगर display करेंगे, what will get displayed? Total width has been allocated for this data as well. अगर मैंने यहाँ data नहीं कहा होता, then that output would have got displayed. Let's do this now once again. So I now say project run debug project. Let's see, is this what's going to happen now? What we really wanted. Here we go. तो आगे आपका ये OX64 4 कॉलम 5 6 7 8 9 10 in total 10 bit that output has now got correctly got displayed. Now listen to me very carefully. क्या क्या किया हमने? width set किया, ओके फिर उसके बाद शो बेस फील्ड, हेक्स, ये 3 फ्लैग्स है. ये तो फॉर्मेटिंग फंक्शन को हमने कॉल किया था कल का, बट हियर दे हैव सेट द फ्लैग्स. तो ये जो 3 फ्लैग सेट किए बार बार करने होंगे आपको फॉर एवरी टाइम. अगर यही सेटिंग कहीं दूसरी जगह चाहिए, करंटली आई हैव अप्लाइड दिस पर्टिकुलर फॉर्मेटिंग टू सी आउट. कल मेरे पास कोई आउटपुट स्ट्रीम खुद की रहेगी विच इज राइटिंग टू अ फाइल, तो उसमें भी मुझे यही सेटिंग्स दोबारा करने होंगे. तो इंस्टेड व्हाट आई कैन डू इज I can just say cout.flags. Listen now. Flags is a function. Flags is a function. And what does this function return us? This particular function flags returns us whatever were the flags that were already set. इसका return type देखो क्या है? FMT FLAGS. ये return करता है flags. Remember कल हमने कहा था all these flags are of type enumeration called as FMT FLAGS. And this FMT FLAGS is predefined in class iOS. A class iOS में it is predefined. And all these formatting flags that we had been using, bool, alpha, hex, all of them are of type FMT FLAGS. And there is actually a structure type there enum called as iOS FMT FLAGS, which has now been given name as FMT FLAGS. So it's predefined bit mask enumeration, where every bit stands for a single flag. So this is some bit. Look at, let's check hex was which bit. It says X hex, whatever it may be the bit. This was also some bit. So every bit was standing for some kind of flag. So we now create a variable of type FMT FLAGS. FMT FLAGS is a predefined bit mask enumerator. It's a predefined variable, predefined type. उस type का एक हमने variable create किया. And when I create a variable of that particular type, when I'm creating a variable of that type, I'm saying cout.flags. This method cout.flags, अभी फिलहाल cout में जो flags on है, जो setting किए गए हैं, that variable it will return. And that value will be set to this variable. That value will be assigned to this particular variable. Now, if that value has been assigned to that variable, this variable now gets some kind of value. It says 4161, whatever it is. Now look at this. This is important. Can you see at the binary format at the bottom? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Out of this, can you note एक flag, दूसरा flag और तीसरा flag. 3 flags on है. अभी कौन से 3 फ्लैग्स ऑन हो चुके हैं? हेक्स का एक ऑन है, बेस फील्ड का एक ऑन है और शो बेस का एक ऑन है. तो व्हाटएवर वर द फ्लैग्स दैट वर ऑलरेडी सेट, लिसन टू वेरी केयरफुली, दैट वाज सेट इन दैट cout का FMT FLAGS वेरिएबल. यानी एवरी स्ट्रीम हैज दिस वन वेरिएबल कॉल्ड एज FMT FLAGS. उसमें कौन सा फ्लैग ऑन है, कौन सा फ्लैग ऑफ है, ये डिसाइड करेगा आपका आउटपुट कौन से स्टाइल से डिस्प्ले होने वाला है. नाउ दिस 3 फ्लैग्स आर टर्न्ड ऑन राइट नाउ. नाउ whatever are the flags which have been turned on, we have copied that, we have taken that current state of the flag and assigned to it to the variable. समझो मैंने unset कर लिया, show base को मैंने unset कर लिया, I removed that, फिर मैंने octal में जाके output display किया, output was now displayed in octal format. So ये तो अलग value है. अब problem क्या है? मुझे एक नई value है मेरे पास. I have another value that is 2000 and I want to display 2000 in the previous style. If I want to display in the previous style, मुझे दोबारा लिखना होगा. I'll again have to say hex, base field, show base, width plus 10. width तो छोड़ दो, but otherwise at least these 3 things I'll have to say all over again normal case में. But now it's not the case. What I'm going to do is, since I have used this hex with base, that particular variable already has the previous settings. Those settings I can apply by using the same function flags. Polymorphic behavior. Flags without parameter returns you the current state. Flag with parameter, जो value आप supply करोगे, that flag settings will be now set. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm saying cout.flags hex with base. This is the best thing that's going to happen now. Look at that same value. I'm going to set to the cout. Yani every stream has this particular variable called as FMT FLAGS, which it has inherited from iOS class. Remember, OStream and iStream both will come from a class called as iOS. And iOS has those formatting flags which have actually been predefined. So what am I going to do now? Whatever were the flags that we had previously set, which we had copied and kept into the assigned it to this particular variable, those flags will directly assign So I'm saying cout.flags, that particular formatting what we had, settings that we had. If that gets assigned and the next output, if I go on to display now, watch it very carefully what happens now. That output has got displayed in hexadecimal with the base also being displayed. OX base भी display हो रहा है show base की वजह से, hex की वजह से decimal भी आ रहा है, and what all things we had said, base field and show base, both the things have happened automatically. What's the beauty of this? Tomorrow you want to write the data to a file or some user defined stream in the similar fashion. You don't really have to worry about it now. You have this particular variable in which those settings have already been copied. Now, since those settings have been copied, anytime you can assign it to any stream object. It can be a file stream, it can be any stream, wherever that formatting data has to be passed. So to that stream, we can assign that particular variable by using method called as flags. So what I have demonstrated to you is a function called as flags. Flags के दो version है. Let's also look at the documentation. Let's also look at the documentation and a note on the same. So what we now saw was this function called as flags. So we are saying over here, there will be times when you only want to know the current formatting settings. अभी current settings क्या है वो अगर आपको जानना है, you can give a call to this particular method flags, which returns as a variable of type fmt fla gs. देखो इस flags function का return type क्या है तो fmt fla gs. Then here this particular function is a constant function. That means inside it is not going to manipulate anything. It's only going to return us a value, and the return value is of type fmt fla gs type का value है return करने वाला है. Okay. The current set of flags controlling the format state of the string for which the member function is called is return. That means if this member function flags is called for scene.flags, cout.flag, yeah, mystream.flag, for whichever stream you call, whatever are the current settings inside that particular stream, it is going to return that particular variable of type fmt fla gs. To inspect whether a particular flag was set or not, we can use bit operator. Now I'll show you how to inspect, how to check whether a particular flag is on or whether it is off. So what am I going to do? Cout.flags, it will return you the current value. I'll say and iOS hex. Remember, and with 1, and the result is 1. That means that flag is on, bitwise operators. And with 1, and if the result is 0, that means that flag is off. And these are all bit mask. That means if you remember last time it was 1 left shift 1, 1 left shift 2, 1 left shift 3, 1 left shift 4. That means these are all subsequent positions on the bits. So let me show you how you can turn it on. How can you check the state of that particular flag? Now, there is this another function that we just saw in the demonstration, flags function, in which we pass a variable of type fmt fla gs. It will do the settings. So whichever flag variable we pass to it, it will be set to the invoking stream. So I say mystream.flags, and if I pass this f, and this f will have the same settings which are there in this particular variable f. So we have these two functions that we have right now seen. So cout.flags, here we could check whether which flag is on or off and other things. Change the representation of hexadecimal previous flag which is being returned. I'll give a demonstration to you to understand this particular concept in a better way. Let's have a look at our Eclipse screen once again. Here we go. Watch it. Huh? I say project, run, debug, local C++ application. Let's start debugging this particular code. Here we go. I have a variable iOS decimal. So I'm going to print the value of decimal for your understanding. Just for your understanding, I'm printing this value. So when I print this particular value, iOS decimal, let's see what does it print. I print this value, decimal ka value 2 hai. What does this 2 mean? Okay, 2 means, I'll just type somewhere, 2 means this, there is a fmt fla gs variable. First bit, some flag. Second bit, some flag. Third bit, some flag. So if you look at the binary representation, this particular variable DC has a value 1 left shift 1. Now when I say 1 left shift 1, 1 को अगर left shift by 1 करोगे, that becomes 2. एक side shift हो जाएगा, एक bit shift हो जाएगा. It will shift towards left by 1, so it will value as 2. Its value is 2. Its value is 2. That means the second bit is actually the decimal flag. I want to check whether currently decimal flag is on or not. So I'm saying cout.flags. Now when I'm saying cout.flags, it will return as the current flag variable, whatever the settings are. And I'm going to say and with 2. And with 2, if the result is 1, true, it will say decimal is on. Otherwise, it will say it is off. So let's debug this particular code and see. Or just to make you easy to understand, what I'll do is, I'll just take it over here as well. Yaha leta hu, just to understand. I take this particular variable, just for you to understand. We really don't need that. And this is fmt fla gs. So I take over here, I say iOS, fmt fla gs, iOS, fmp flegs, my variable setting is equal to something. Just to show you, because we can also see the binary representation. Just for you, I'm doing it. We don't really need it. So I again say debug as local C++ application. Here you go. It says this variable is unused. Okay, no problem. Let it be unused. I want to show you something. अब ये settings variable देख लीजिएगा जरा. Settings variable देखो. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, sorry, sir. 0. That is 1. First flag 1. If अगर ये on है तो 1, otherwise 0. 0. ये second flag position number 2. ये 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128 एंड सो ऑन. ये सारे फ्लैग्स है आपके. यानी अगर 1 को लेफ्ट शिफ्ट बाय 1 करूंगा तो ये फ्लैग ऑन है, यानी डेसिमल फ्लैग बाय डिफॉल्ट इज ऑन. तो ये इसकी वैल्यू क्या है? अगर इतना वैल्यू ले लूं मैं तो दिस इज 2. सो आई एम गोना एंड विथ 2. And with 2, if the bit is on, we'll get it on. Check it out now. So I will and with 2, and I'll check the value, and we'll definitely get decimal is on. Here we go. It says decimal is on. Okay, decimal is on. But I'm going to do a small change for you, just to help you understand. Now I turn on octal flag. मैंने octal flag को on किया है. Decimal का value position 2 था, and I had shown you that position as well. Now let's do the debug once again. I debug the code once again. I'm just going some bit advanced दिखा रहा हूँ, कुछ internal settings दिखा रहा हूँ मैं आपको. How does it actually work? Here we go. अब settings variable की value देखिएगा. Last time this was 1. That means that second bit was on. Now second bit is not on. Now this particular bit is on. That means this bit stands for decimal, whereas this bit is standing for octal. अलग अलग है. Every bit represents one flag. Now if I AND with 2 and 2 means यहाँ 1 आ जाएगा. 1 and 0, answer will be 0. That means that flag is off. So if I run this particular code now, it will say flag is off. So we stop here today and we continue with a further discussion. Next session is again going to be a deep dive into some advanced concepts, and so you have to be very, very attentive.